Hello? Here. Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for respecting this ceremony. This is really a very deep ceremony, which is now we always disobey in our main ceremonies, and also for our young people who want to become a man. Thank you very much. But I just wanted to show that I am an AM, but also I have an AM me myself too with my own materials, which is this materials really representing the image of me and of my clan, or of my tribe, or other significant family who are in their own traditional country. Actually, I would like to just to talk about, that is one of the totem that I was really saying, it is almost Baro. Baro is one of my totem, and for everyone. Some of them, some clan have their own crocodile or Baro totem in their own rights, in their own country, different languages. That is my homeland called Baniela, and well, it's called Ilpra too. I think that this is where I and my father decided to come and stay. So it is really important where we has been making or consulting or documenting in our country in our own rights. And that is Arnhem Land, and yes, that is where I come from, Blue Mud Bay. Really, it started where our people, like Cambodians, Vietnam, and all those other Philippines, came into our community, into our country, because the country was really looked empty, and no one, I didn't know about whether people were living there, but we were already living there, and we were the largest Blue Mud Bay people moved away to missions to go with those other people who they went away to live in mission called, they used to call us mission on those days time. But I just telling what has happened where my time when we were living in Baniela, and this is what happened. They came into a nesting place where called Garangali, where Barrow always live in that place or nesting area, significant sites. And we thought, when we thought we need to really document ourselves, while we were living in Blue Mud Bay. Not only that, but we almost told the other clans to do their own patterns or design for document their own country too, from the land and also from the sea. This is the basic thing that we all know. We had ownership in their own right, in their own countries. People think the people are living in that mission there. We always think like this, oh, they all from Manuira, they all from Yirkala, they all from Rudal, but no. The message is there. They have been adopted or they have been pushed away or moved away by missionaries. But the regional, they have their own countries for individual clans and tribes. Yeah. When we met that Siraj's book, and then the gallery of Maritime Museum bought our patterns, our gallery. Arts like this, they are all in Maritime Museum, and it's have meaningful and it's have been really document about our own countries. Yes, that is my father. Before do all those arts or all those Siraj's book, we found crocodile head was in a mud where we were living. My father thought, look, there's a lot of animals are killed and are killing out one of our totem. Maratpa means it's a barrow. And this is what he said to me. I want to go more deeper, Jambawa. Then he gave my name called Jambawa. First, I had Miniawan, Marawali name. And of course, you can see barrow tracks in that bay going out and in. Also, I have the document by this painting. It is sliding snake where it is in the mouth of the sea where the brackets are meeting together, fresh water and the bracket water, and it's sliding into the sea. You can see some image of fish and crabs and the cloud and the white seagulls in that country. And this is the bracket water mixed together, fresh water and salt water. With those paintings, we do have ceremony. One of my sons, you did see me, he's right here. We have to make all those patterns. You can see the lightning snake was painted in his chest, so he became a boy or a grown-up boy, and this is what we do. We usually do this. Everybody do this. In the sea there, where we were lodging and where we wanted to really go for, to lodge the country and the sea, this is the image on that country that is what our ancestors truly be, hunting and going into the sea. There is a story about this, the two families hunters went across to the island to get some goods from their brother-in-law, their name was Yikanga and Morokoya Miri, came back right in the middle of the sea. Then there was a big rushing water or tsunami came up and drowned them. And you could see one of them swimming across to the island there, and another one, it was swallowed by the rockfish. And their spirit went up into the sky called the Milky Way. When we were lodging the country, you could see some of them marked from our archaeologists. One of our archaeologists and anthropologists was there, but we were too, were the anthropologists and archaeologists. On those bays, on those areas, they have such a lot of different names on those areas. And when we were lodging the sea, archaeologists came with us. We named all these places. You can see the our ancestors probably traveling on these countries in and out, and you can see different stories. Up there, you can see it is from the fresh water going up into the sea and meeting the salt water. You can see some image of fish and also some important sand land. If I'm missing some messages, you have right to read these ones, those people you can read. And that old fella now, is one of my uncle, my father's brother. As you see, some of the very significant sacred areas have names, certain names that, it's not only those ones, but it's right across from there, right around there, they have their different names, a distant name, and also Barnella himself have a different name too. You can see Barnella, Ilpra, and then small names in that area, even inside in the land and also in the sea. When we were processing to go into the High Court, we were almost filing, and the law said, that's enough. You have to slow down now. You have to, that is enough. Now you went up to the High Court, the first High Court, and we thought, no. I thought, this is me, myself, well, all my brothers were passed away, now they're gone. I have to lodge appeal the court, and this crocodile, they really hurt me. They shot this one here because, I didn't really give up. I wanted to go more high up into the High Court. They made me wild, really. They shot this crocodile to make me more scary, because it says, if you go more further, we will tie your neck off and hang you on the air. They're just telling me the story to me. They couldn't really kill me. But I said, I do not worry. I have to go with my fight, with my own way of thinking. So I did went high up. I went into the first test case. I brought my people. We went to show ourselves that we can do this. We don't have to frighten, we don't have to worry about them. We need to go and stand for our own rights, for our own country. And this is what we are now. There's through our people are coming in into that. We decide, why don't you come? You come to our land. Then we have a court in our own country. And this is what you can see us sitting down there with some of the lawyers and judges. You can see old fellows there. Governor Commander, he's showing the place. You can see me there sitting down beside him. and the rest of our boys was right behind me, and the other mob already gone. They went back to the country where they belong, and dust to dust. Then the next time we went by this this boat here, and right in the middle of the sea, and the big wind and the sea came nearly drowned us. Like another lawyers were running around. What shall we do, Jumbo? What shall we do? I couldn't even say. I was just sitting down quietly, and the rest of our boys was really quiet. And when I said to the land, to the sea, can we turn around now? And it's the sea will look like this, really calm. And we went back to the shore. We decided, okay, they took us into to a high court, to Darwin, and also to Canberra. Why don't we take them too into our own country? Into our own law. That's my people there, and this is a very long sand culture. It was there for forever. Our ancestors did, and also our people. We own that land, see? In the land, sand culture. There, we took them into the High Court in our own parliament, in our own parliament. Then we came back. We wanted to cleanse them out, and you could see this side Goa and that side Yirich, and you could see the two fires there. And there's a sand culture that the lawyers and the judges and the fisheries, we put them in the middle of the sand culture, but they refused to stand there because it was hot. The fire was too hot. They all ran away. But we ourselves saw ourselves, we are here. You could see them, this is the warm up and that's Yirich up. And I'm saying, it's getting hot, you can see me there. Now we are on the highest court. That's one of my families from Blue Mat Bay was involved. On the high court, you can see me, and to show that we are right in the high court. And then all our Northern Land Council and we ourselves was there involved. Complete the court. And the highest court. That was the highest court of Australia. Then that is me. I'm showing off going back to Garma and saying, look, we've got the sea right back. You can see me wearing an Anga t-shirt. Then one day we all went, the Northern Land Council came to have a full council in Baniala. And on that area we were almost, when we got that meeting went over, then I decided, can we celebrate here too about sea rights? And this is what we are in. You could say Doha, Yirichak, celebrating the sea rights. And the end. I think for question, maybe there's another, there's a, Kimberley. Yeah.
Mingeri ke mola ngaji ko jaja dengan minyanai. Mingeri le wimba. Kalau ngaji ko jamiti. Mingeri jangan mingeri ka gara minyanang. Baru wala minyanang minjila walan. Mingeri wala kanin jago teman mengenai kulai. Kulai mingeri. Kulai dan kanin jago tu. Mingeri mana kulai? Mana pun. Baru wala mengenai kudi jima aku minyanang. Kadang-kadang kadi minyanang. Lejan bana bana. Karo bicara. Karan pulai bukan yil bama roda. Ulyu komanda mire jalara mana wange malku yo e penere mana nyanango mire kare jo pen ko yanga belum nyanga mani jalara belum nguni ngaju gra ini baji enet koglo pen gra ini baji broda ja kana ju bolan baji le penere ini bolan baji wayo ngaju mana wal banjari ja cholen jari Mire jalara mana wangi kalora kojo ngaju kara wane jangka panan purku wane kara jangka chawle jangka kalana wane manolinya nganga mani ngana bakra wane chandu wane mire jalara mana cholo ngana bakra bulga painting canvas jangka yo ngaju kara ngarpo jangka maji ngauji kelagi chaja jamari Pinani mlo kulango chilji wani janga. Ngaji mana kalora janya, kalona nyendu ngorala. Yes, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners, the Larrakia people and other traditional owners who are here present from all around Australia and all over the world. My name is Annette Kogalo, and I have two Aboriginal names. I'm known by Bruda and Wayo. And as I said, this morning I'm going to share about our large canvas, which is our painting, which actually won our native title rights in 2007. It was taken out on country. And just to share more, my parents and my grandparents, my mother's and father's parents, and other relatives actually left their country. We all came out of the Great Sandy Desert. I mean, they came out of the Great Sandy Desert, whereas for myself, our families went to live and move on other people's country, where the pastoralists were along the Fitzroy Valley, and they had to come to work for the pastoralists and live in other people's country. And I was one of those people, being born and raised and living with other people. We had 4 language groups in the valley. We had Punaba, Guniandi, and Wangajunga and Walmajeri were the people from the desert. And Punaba people are the traditional owners of their country in Fitzroy Crossing. And we all live together and support each other in so many ways. And this morning I'm just going to focus on how we actually see the importance of how my people, my family, actually had to tell their story about the importance of their country through art. And and they strongly, sing the songs that have been kept and passed on through generations right up until today. And like I said, I'm from Fitzroy Crossing, and we're in the middle of the Great Sandy Desert, and a place called Kulku is one of the main outstations that we work from. Well, as you know, we have the exclusive title. It's about 75,000 square of land is declared. I think it's larger than England, and there's a further 45,000 kilometres square currently being claimed. And the last of our people walked out of the desert in the late 50s. And our culture and traditional knowledge is strong. We are actively working to look after our country through our Indigenous Protected Area, IPA, and Ranger program. And we keep knowledge and relationship to country strong in our art. And this is the Ngurra canvas. It is our heritage. It is the map of our country. It tells about the strong lines in our traditional knowledge. It tells us the important water places that we need to manage. And also, it tells the rangers what they need to do on country to keep country healthy. Our caring for country activities need to be linked to this important knowledge. And it's a very, very large canvas. It's about 10 by 8 meters. And at the moment being kept at our Mangaja Art Centre in Fitzroy Crossing. So on the canvas, it's actually give us a map by our elders, because they don't understand English, or they don't understand to read and write. So they came together and talked about how we're going to tell the government that we are the bosses of our land. We are the owners and keepers of our land. And the important way they thought about is 4 language group, which is the Mangala, Walmajari, Wangachunga, and Jualing people actually came together and decided to paint together and tell their story through their art, and which actually was a really good way of, it's like a picture to show people where their country. So they painted from the top end to the bottom and right across on our country. And this is the way they came, and when we had the people from the native title and the government coming to talk to us about country, the elders came up and stood on their painting and actually stood up strongly and said, look, this is my place. This is where I was born. This is where I once lived, hunted and gathered. And it's a very important place. And we very much know that we strongly are the owners of our land. So most of the paintings are from the 4 different language groups on our country. And I suppose Ngaralja Tommy May actually was supposed to be here sharing because of illness to his partner, and the support that he's put across. And on the canvas you can see how large it is. We have an elder who has deceased and a lady who's still with us, completing the Walla section of the Ngurra canvas at Binini Lake, which is the lake where our native title was handed over to us. And Nilbar, he's one of our dancers, and he's pretty old and frail now, and he was one of my best dancers, and admired him. And you can see the cover of the book there. Actually, it's a picture picture of our painting on the front. Actually, I was going to share this workshop with my cousin, Frank, and we have some of our rangers from our country. I'd like to introduce them to you. It's Frank McCarthy, Roxanne Middleton, and Rose Pye, who actually their first time coming across, and we're very proud because one of the most important things is when we got our native title, our land back, and he said, look, what are we going to do about looking after our country? And the first thing was thinking about employing and encouraging our young people to come back onto country and to learn how to look after country. And the elders passing on the traditional knowledge so that they can look after the country and work in a better way, and keeping things going how it used to be a long, long time ago. Since our elders and our families left the land, everything wasn't maintained properly. I mean, our Jilla, we're the Jilla people. Our Jillas actually, we have to dig for them, and the water come up onto the surface, and it is always important to protect and look after them. And we share that with our animals, and and look after the plants and everything that live on the land. So everything's been shared, and this, the most important thing is everyone making sure that everyone's good on country. And that's our IPA, as you can see. It tells the cultural protocol to manage our country, and Walajila Jimu IPA ranges, and work on that, as well as that was declared on the day of our native title that was determined on that year. And I was actually going to ask Frank if he wanted to talk a little bit more, or if that's okay. But yeah, just the most important thing, we talk about IPA, protecting IPA is not only that little part of the section. I mean, our land, protected area sites, it's everywhere. It doesn't matter where. It's not a little map. It's everywhere that needs to be protected. And that's the most important thing that we think of every day, and sharing that. So some of the things that we do on our country is going back, and our elders assisting our rangers and working together, and men looking at the maps, the later maps on visiting this very large country owned by 4 different language groups, where we work together with each other language group to come and make sure that all these places are being worked on and cared for. So one of our art stations getting together, we went on a trip out into the desert, and with our elders, and worked on another project, which is our seasonal calendar, which actually helps our rangers together, working together and sharing that knowledge, collecting the different plants and animals and recording them. So they're just photographs of some of our works, important collection of every plant, animal named, and our elders I was so proud, because it's a learning thing too for me. It's continued all the time, and traditional knowledge is always important, and passing on to our younger generation. We take our young people out on country and make sure involve them in coming to these trips, and I really like that one. Yagaberry is a plant that grows along the river or in the desert, where our people used to make the sandals so they can walk across the desert and protect themselves from the heat. And just some pictures that I wanted to share of our rangers working on country. So talking about salt lakes in the desert, and in one of the paintings, you can see these tracks, these lines. They are from our families a long, long time ago that lived in the desert, had to walk into this middle of the salt lake where the fresh water is, and that's Yumari, a place that's very important to our people, and which is one of our killer, and people just go into now and get water from there, and they have to walk back to their homes, their places where they lived, and there are so many other killers in our country that needs to be protected. And just finishing up, my mum said, those brawlers, they don't belong to the desert. This is the first time coming onto our country and just out in the desert. And we have camels that are pests, and we're working on making sure that we protect those special water places. And yeah, that's it. Just to photograph our youth that we take out on country, our family.
So we have time for a couple of questions. Does anybody have anything to ask?
Question time. Come on, everybody, wake up.
Okay, if we don't have any questions, if I can just ask everyone to join me in thanking our presenters for wonderful presentations.